Old model steamboats in poor condition, part 18. Making a brass safety valve fitting to pipe the steam up the chimney, fitting the rudder linkages and starting the main assembly of the parts. These are all edited clips from a series I made a while ago. If you would like more detail, please watch A Model Steamboat Named Edith. I need to figure out the best way to get the steam out of the boat if the safety valve is blowing off. The micrometer tells me that the safety valve is 1/2 inch in diameter, so I'm going to make a brass fitting that goes over the safety valve and allows me to take the steam away from the safety valve and up the chimney. This is a very routine and very simple plain turning job. If you watch my videos regularly, you'll see a lot of this, and here I am removing metal at an alarming rate. I'm doing this completely freehand, just having a bit of fun. The only accurate dimension is the 1/2 inch hole that's going down the centre that fits over the safety valve. And how's this for multitasking? Whilst turning the part, I'm using a centre drill to make a centre hole in the work at this end. So I think that's not too bad for the diameter that I need. I need it to be heavy so that it doesn't blow off when the safety valve blows off. The next part of the operation is to drill a hole in the piece of brass, which is 1 inch long, using a 1/2 inch diameter drill. And here's a top tip. When doing a job like this, you have a couple of options. You can use the graduations on the hand wheel or on the quill of the tailstock. But if you don't want to stare blankly at the quill on the tailstock, watching the graduations, you can measure the twist drill and put a felt tip pen mark on the drill, and stop drilling the hole when the felt tip pen mark gets level with the work. Quite simple, very non-scientific. It was quite difficult pushing the 1/2 inch diameter twist drill through the metal, so I changed the 1/2 inch drill bit for a 1/4 inch drill bit and went all the way through with that first. Because not only does it act as a pilot for the 1/2 inch drill, I do need a 1/4 inch diameter hole all the way through the work. In this clip you can see why. I've turned the component round in the chuck and I'm machining the outside part now down to a diameter that will take a large bore flexible pipe. I've repositioned the cutting tool so I can cut a sequence of grooves around this area of the component just to grip the flexible pipe. Well, that's the plan anyway. Here you see it fitted to the boiler. Using a flexible pipe is one option, particularly if the steam outlet connects to something on the superstructure, but on this boat it doesn't. The dummy steam pipe on the superstructure is far too thin to evacuate the boiler's safety valve, so when this safety valve blows off, the exhaust will go up the chimney. There are not many episodes left to go yet before this boat is ready to sail. What's coming up though is the hardest part, putting it all together. As far as model boats go, this is quite a large one, but the access to the internal part of the boat is very tight, just through the 2 hatches in the deck. You're looking at the moment at the radio control module that I made. I'm just checking how it's going to work, and I've had to modify it. I've always known that I would need to modify this because the radio control unit that I'm using in the boat is a very simple one. It does not have computer control, so I can't limit the travel of the servos. They're always going to travel the full length, which is not a problem for this one. This is the rudder servo. All I have to do with this is connect it to the tiller arm that I made. And the best way to do that is to use one of these. These are really useful things to have in the workshop. You start off with a piece of stainless steel wire, and by cutting the stainless steel wire in half and using this tool, you can see how it works. And these tools are called Z-bend pliers. I made 2 of these linkages and they're both identical in length, and here's the rudder moving from side to side, without any binding. I knew that the steam engine was going to be quite close to the radio box, but not quite this close. But thankfully, as I made the radio box out of very thick wood, I can just shorten it slightly using the bandsaw. In case you're wondering, this is the hand pump, a very clever design. This engine was built by a really competent engineer. And this lockable ram just sits on top of the crankshaft-driven water pump. Very clever indeed. I mentioned earlier that access to the inside of the hull is not good, and here are the 2 hatches in question. The internal components need to be fitted in a set order, starting with the water tank, then the boiler, then the steam engine, followed by the condenser. I made a fitting for the top of the safety valve. This is it, and I was going to use a flexible pipe, but I changed my mind. Instead, I threaded the end of the fitting to take a 3/8 by 32 union nut. So all I need to do now is bend a piece of copper pipe to approximately fit in this position, and then silver solder a union cone to the end of it. And this piece of copper pipe will follow the angle of the chimney adapter and point up the chimney to exhaust the steam from the safety valve. With the water tank already in the bow part of the hull and the boiler sat in the hull where it's going to be, I can get the position to mount the burner in place. In this clip I'm using my bandsaw to cut the piece of brass to the right length. And all I have to do now is place the burner unit in position on the tank, mark the position for a couple of holes, then drill a couple of holes in the tank so that I can bolt the burner to the tank itself. And with some sealant on the bolts on the inside of the tank won't leak. The next part of the job is to mount the emergency gas cutoff valve inside the boat. These gas cutoff valves are designed for radio control and are available from a company called Clevedon Steam. I need to be able to easily drain the condensate from the condenser, so I just made this. It's a piece of brass plate with a turned fitting that takes the tap, and when this is fitted into the hull, all you have to do is open the tap, run the engine to create some back pressure in the condenser, which will pump the water out into a suitable receptacle. I'm silver soldering a union cone on the other end of the pipe. And to illustrate how easy it is to cremate the part, I'm applying too much heat, but I pulled the heat away just before the part melted. As a general rule, when the heat is sufficient to make the flux take on a watery appearance, that's the time to just touch the part with the silver solder. And the parts being silver soldered do not need to be as hot as this. After quenching in some cold water, I just used the polishing spindle to clean up the assembly. The rest of this part's been in the acid bath overnight, so it's fairly clean to start with. If I sit the condenser on its mountings inside the boat, you will get the general idea of how it's going to mount. I held the piece in position, put a couple of felt tip pen marks on the deck, and now I'm drilling some holes on the felt tip pen marks. And guess what? Both of the holes in the deck line up perfectly with the holes on the fitting. These matching holes will allow me to bolt the fitting to the deck, but I'm not ready to do that just yet. The drain tap is now in place on the fitting, so I've just silver soldered a union onto the end of a short piece of copper pipe to act as a drain. I can now connect a piece of silicone rubber tubing to this valve to drain the condensate, which has oil in it, into a suitable receptacle for disposal. I think that this is a really good looking old boat. It really captures the essence of an old fishing boat. What I'm doing in this clip is using a piece of boiler banding to make a strap to hold a piece of 1/4 inch diameter pipe to the main chimney extension. I'm using a scrap piece of 1/4 inch pipe just to get the shape right. And now I'm holding the piece of boiler banding against the chimney extension so I can cut the boiler banding to the correct length. You should get the general idea from this clip. I've bent the ends over after drilling holes in the boiler banding, and now I'm fitting a 6BA bolt to hold it all together. And here is a shot of the finished strap. To round off this video, here's a really nice shot of Edith sat on the bench. And that's it for this one. Thanks for watching, and I hope you found it useful. Please take the time to visit my Mainsteam Models website and click on the section of the website that says Video Playlists. And by doing that, you can find other videos that you may like to watch. And by using the playlists, you can actually watch the videos back to back.